So now we have a method for the player to earn money, which is to go and get some ore, bring it back to the bank, and exchange it for money. And the next thing that we want to program would be the store right over here. Right? And if you remember, the store sells the heavy pack, which is another name for a backpack, and it allows the player to carry two more gold ore. Right? So what we need to do is exactly the same as what we did over at the bank, which is detect whether the player chose a certain dialogue choice when talking to the store owner, and fire off a remote event. Have a script on the server script service waiting for that remote event to fire, and execute the code that we want to execute so that it changes the the leader stats values to what we want it to be. Okay. So since this is kind of the the second time we're going through this very complicated process, let's go ahead and do it together. And the first thing we want to do is start off right here. It's starter player scripts, and let's add another script. Okay. And instead of and this is a local script, right? Because you can only detect a dialogue choice being selected using a local script. So instead of creating a new one, let's just go ahead and click on this one and say Command D to duplicate it. Okay, well, I did it too many times, so I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to rename this local script. I'm going to call it buy heavy pack script. Inside of it, I'm going to change a couple of things. This is not going to be the banker. It's going to be, who is it here? Store owner, right? No space. So Okay, so in here it's store owner, no spaces. And then we're going to go into his head and then go to the dialogue. So that's fine. Head and dialogue. The remote event is going to be different, right? So we're going to come over here to replicated storage, and we're going to get this remote event, and we can say Command D to duplicate it, except we're going to change its name to buy heavy pack remote event, and then we're going to change the name here to buy heavy pack remote event. Okay, the cha-ching and the nope sound, I'm going to keep it the same throughout the entire game. Of course, you can go ahead and customize that to whatever you want. But for me, finding those sounds was painful and a difficult process. So I'm going to use those same sounds for the whole game, whether they purchase or they're not able to purchase. Inside the dialogue, we're going to go ahead and check if the dialogue choice selected is a certain dialogue choice, right? And let's go back to our store owner and check what that dialogue choice is called. It's called buy choice, right? So I'm going to go ahead and come here and say buy choice. And this I don't want, right? Because this has to do with the banker. And so if the choice is by choice, then I want to fire off the remote event, and I want to play the cha-ching sound. If the choice is not by choice, which in this case it would be this goodbye dialogue, then it would say nope. Oh, is that right? No. I guess here we don't want a nope sound to be played, right? Because we don't want it to say nope when it says I don't need one, right? And then the store owner is going to say nope. No, it should just say okay, bye, I'll see ya, right? So then we're going to end this if statement by saying end. This is the beginning of the if statement. This is the end of the if statement. And I think we're missing one last bit, which is the server script that's going to run when this remote event is fired off. Okay, so let's come back here. Let's get the buy money script. Command D, duplicate it. Let's rename it to buy heavy pack script, and then edit its contents, right? So here it is. We're going to not wait for the buy money remote event. We're going to wait here for the buy heavy pack remote event. We're going to wait for that event to fire off, and when it does, we're going to do this stuff, right? And what's the stuff that we want to do if he does purchase it? Well, we want his money to go down and his max gold to go up, okay? So let's see here. What are we going to do? money.value is equal to money.value minus the cost of the pack. Okay, so let's go ahead and just be clear here and just say cost pack, right, and make it equal to how much the pack is going to cost. And I believe I set it to $50. Of course, you can go ahead and tweak these values to whatever makes sense to you. And then here we're going to subtract that variable value from the player's money. Okay, and over here, what do we want to do? We want to change his max gold, right? So let's come over here and say max gold. Is it called max gold? Let's go back to leader stats and check. Yes, max gold. Okay, so let's come back over to here. Max gold value is equal to the previous max gold value, right, which is 2, I believe, when you first start. And then I'm going to say plus 2. Okay. Okay, so I think that's good to go. Let's test this out and see if it works. Let's first get some ore, go to the banker, get some cash. Alright, now we have the money. We can go to the store, and hopefully he'll let us buy. Ooh, I gotta get rid of that door too. Ooh, great. So it went up. Alright, there's a couple issues here that we need to deal with, but we'll do that in the next video.